Robinson, your Jamaican brother there. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joe. From Monday to Friday.
You can follow me, go to chocolate. You can come to me, love.
Say my name. Anytime you want me, come around, say my name. Anytime you don't have to call, say my name. Anybody you want to come around, say my name, say my name, say my name. I drop it down and pick it up. Baby, make it shake it like you want, shake it up. Say me, Margarita, with a shot.
Baby, Coco. Baby, Coco. Animo.
Ukipinda wanapinda Shingo zao za funjaka Sijaganisha nini Kweli mapenzi chakula
Yes, karibuni sana family to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Joby, call me either, and of course ensure you pronounce it correctly. But of course, karibuni sana to our first time listeners, our Blackout Fire Network family. We appreciate you for being part of this amazing platform. 46 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in the 254, 14 minutes to 1 p.m. Let me know what's the time on your end. And of course, I see already in the likes of Robert Williams with us in the building. Karibu sana. Thank you for the compliment. And I love it too. But karibu sana. And thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly, as you tune in, remember to click that like button. Share this amazing information. This amazing, information we get to give unto you, the reviews we get to pass across the African continent to your fellow African people to keep them in the work. We shall be having different amazing conversation today. And personally, I'll be coming in rough today because I am really bitter regarding what is going on with the African countries. And this is why you see my topic is what is going on in the African countries. Today, we have demonstration going on in Kenya, which we shall be talking about. We shall be taking you through the live images of what is going on. I'll be sharing that before the end of the show. At the starting of the show, we'll be taking you down on what our government has declared regarding this demonstration, which are supposed to be held in the next 3 days. They have begun today, so they shall be going on for the next 3 days. Today, tomorrow, and Friday. And for those who are tuned in on our show yesterday and to our amazing TikTokers, and you saw literally how our people had different opinions and things to say, regarding the demonstration. In the likes of Nebuchadnezzar, shout out to that amazing dude. He did give his own opinions, and he said that, it's a high time African people, you get to realize, you're being used, especially the youth. You're being paid, and this amount of money you're being paid is the amount of money that should be creating job opportunities for you. So how is it that you can be used? They have money to give you. Go literally destroy people's property, go beating up people, killing other people innocently, and at the end of the day, you're gonna come back and go back to being the same poor person, the same poor African who's fighting for their rights. So we'll be talking about that, and of course, regarding some few things that so far we've had, I'd say 5 African countries have gotten themselves engaged in. And I think I've been discussing this lately, especially regarding my main agendas of my topics. Last week, I think I did speak of Libya signing into oil exportation deal. And we also saw DRC Congo signing into a railway project. This is actually DRC and Angola, which is funded. And also we saw Nigeria signing a deal which was announced by the federal government that they are supposed to be exporting oil for the next 24 years. And scientists, or other information that has not been done by none of us African people. In Ghana, we saw the same thing, a deal of exportation of minerals funded, and I gave also that. But we shall be talking about Algeria and China today, and also DRC Congo again back on the chart. So kindly keep it up right here on the Blackout Fire Network. 49 minutes past 12 p.m. and I feel like I'm I'm ready for this already. But I'll be coming back with a quote of the day. And of course, we shall be having other discussion like what is going on in Rwanda. Like yesterday, we had Katie talking about the Tunisians, the signing of the deal of immigrants literally crossing the border. But in deeper sense, I think Katie broke it down. I don't want to go back into it. I'd also discussed it on Monday last week. But we shall be discussing, especially when it comes to the disappearance, which is something she mentioned, but I want to hint on it as well. What is it to the disappearing of African people when it comes to migrating? I want to talk a little bit of what is going on in Rwanda and what the government of Rwanda has done, because we have 10 children who have died because of a boat capsizing. But that is not it. We are talking about African people, literally always just disappearing out of nowhere, and nobody is held accountable. So I'll be going back to one more banger. This is Zaina Manasseh with Loki, and I hope you guys get to enjoy it. Remember, if you have a quote of the day, you can also keep it coming and keep it locked right here on the Blackout Fire Network radio station.
Never expected to feel this way. Can't help but think it's a game you play. I've learned to not get so easily swayed. Don't give up faith, I know I'm not brave
anymore.
Really don't understand what kind of hold you have on me. No, I never do these things.
Some more for risk,
and I have to tell a little
danger.
I'm really a stranger. I could get used to
our arrangement. Can you feel what I'm saying? If you're on the same page, then gonna keep it low key. Promise not to tell nobody. You'll be the only. Just promise not to leave me alone.
First place in trophy, so it's better you don't know me. So can we keep it low key? You can't keep it low key.
Alone.
How long do one of us want something more? I say we ride away to stay far away from the shore. Don't wanna be grounded, afraid of losing what we have. I'd rather be surrounded, drowning in your loving. Me, I don't understand what kind of hold you have on me. No, I never do this.
And my quote of the day today says, and I find this funny actually because it's an African proverb, and it's one, I think it's from one of the leaders right here in, I don't know if it's the 254, but it's Africa. I'm familiar with the face, but not familiar with the name. But this is what he says. There is proverb, an African proverb that is, fond of saying. He says that the world is not ours. The earth is not ours. It's a treasure we hold in trust for future generations. And I often hope we will be worthy of that trust. And if I look at from whose point this is coming from, especially being a puppet leader who's on the display, I can't say no to it, because these people, we've given the hope into them, the trust to them. But why do we have Kenyans demonstrating today? That is one thing that should give you an answer.
Promise not to tell nobody. You'll be the only. Just promise not to leave me lonely.
So it's better you don't know me. Can you keep it low key? Can you keep it low key? Promise not to tell nobody. Just promise not to leave me lonely. It's better you don't know me.
Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into
Wagwan, this is the Pan-African Bliss Show every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Bliss Show. Let's go.
Yes, karibuni sana, and of course, welcome back to the Pan-African Bliss. 6 minutes to 1 p.m., 54 minutes past 12 p.m. Let us know what's the time on your end as you tune in. And of course, in case you are a first-time viewer, a first-time streamer, a first-time, you just bumped into us, karibu sana. Kindly consider following us on whatever platform you're listening to us from. For those who are on Facebook, shout out to you. Those who are on YouTube, shout out to you. Those who are on Twitter, shout out to you. Those who are on the radio station, shout out to you. Those who are with me on Rumble, also shout out to you. Remember, you can also pin your comments via the live chat that is on the Rumble. But karibuni sana. And like I said, today we shall be talking. Literally, I'll be everywhere. And my question, my agenda is what is going on in Africa. And I feel sometimes sad because I always feel like I'm repeating myself every single day. Sometimes I feel like I'm always debating the same discussion. But I am glad because this is what I signed up for. And I am glad to being able to know all that I know right now, to be able to pass it to others outside here, to be also awoke, or rather to wake up. So I said we shall be talking about a couple of things, a bunch of things that is going on in Africa, starting with our current situation right here in the 254. And yesterday, if in case you are tuned in on the Africa Today show, we did discuss on TikTok and on the radio what is going on. We saw some few security, some few literally members of the parliament, some few MPs, some few politicians did have their security being withdrawn. And this, of course, this because of the ongoing mandamano, which we did mention in the likes of Mamangina, the mother of Uhuru Kenyatta, and a couple of people that were mentioned that Kamlesh gave the information yesterday. But I don't want to get into it. I want to read what our government is doing, or what is the current situation right now as we speak. And of course, as I get to share the live images, because I tell you, by 8 a.m., we had a lot of people already outside there ready for the day, despite Ruto giving a warning. And of course, the minister of I'll get that correctly. We had a warning from Ruto, from our president, and a couple of people who are literally in this organization of his. He said that in case you are found, on the wrong on this demonstration, you shall be suffering for the rest years of your life. And that comes as a threat, And if I try look at the threat, because one of the debates we had yesterday, and if you try look at it, and I hope people can see deeper into this, especially those who are outside right here, because I tell you the crowd is big. People are out here in massive numbers. I'm impressed to see it. I'm impressed to see, despite actually the threat, people did still turn up, but there is consequences of all this. One, we know our government has allowed and has not literally taken responsibility and holding accountable of those who are literally shot dead last week. And of course, a couple of demonstrations that did occur since the beginning of March. We've had numbers of people whose lives have been lost, and I've discussed this. Nobody has been held accountable, and it shows you clearly, despite you fighting for your right to dealing with a dictatorship government, and aside from that, no matter what happens, these are walk scot-free type of government. They're not going to do anything. And this should give you answers, because take us back to the 2007 election. We know what happened. And I think this is one of the debates that got me so angry, once upon a time. And we were discussing how is it that Uhuru Kenyatta, these people just ended up becoming presidents despite them being found guilty. And we had witnesses who are no longer here. They just disappeared, We had witnesses who are covering up these stories. They had evidence, but evidences disappeared, the witnesses disappeared, and boom, we had these people being presidents and being deputies of each other. And now when they are into power, it's always a blame game of pointing fingers. You did this, you didn't do this better. But African people, we need to realize our lives right here, nobody gives a shit about it. We are in between. Like yesterday, I gave this example perfectly, and I'm glad to see also Kamlesh explained it the same way. We are in between these people. They're pulling strings on each end, but we're in between. And they're pulling strings literally amongst us, because it is always us who end up either attacking each other or their police officers. You know, it's either those goons who have been paid again, like I'm saying, you paid today $300 or maybe $30 or $3 to go kill, demonstrate, to go literally create riots outside here. But you have no idea that you're gonna go back to being the same poor citizen, the same poor African who's fighting for the rights and destroying the rights of others. But let me share this actually very quickly of the current situation going on right now. And of course, as I get to read some few articles on what is really going on and what our current president has literally said. So let me share my screen, and karibuni sana to everyone who's just tuning in. Kindly, as you tune in, smash that like button, and also do interact with me. So this is the current situation right now as we speak. One of the discussions we were having yesterday, we did discuss the long-term, short-term effects, and I've done a show on this short-term, long-term effects of tear gas, and we've said as much as you're going outside there, be careful, because whatever this situation is happening, it has nothing to do with us. We are outside here demonstrating, yes, you can see people are doing. These them playing with tear gas, but even us Africans were just so stupid to know somehow, some Africans are just somehow stupid, somehow, you know. I don't understand how you just take tear gas, start playing with it. The crowd is big for sure. That it's right now. I believe some number of people might have been all that, but that is the ongoing situation right now. Tear gas, as usual, they are all over. They're trying to dispatch people and calm the situation down. But it was not. It was actually a very peaceful demonstration. I don't know why we're having people being attacked. It was very peaceful actually when it began. People were just moving. There was no throwing of stones until the police officers began doing this, and all this we've seen them doing. But what is going on? Let me get rid of what the media, the mainstream media, is talking about Kenyans demonstrations. And this is what they're saying, that that is they're talking about betrayal. We always have betrayal, especially after election. But they're saying that Kenya is embraced for the latest in a series of opposition protests against the rising cost of living and tax hikes, which have turned violent, which at least 24 people killed in the recent months. That is beginning since the beginning of March, because remember in March, this is when we had Kenyans taking during last year's presidential election. James Wainaina, a taxi driver in the capital of Nairobi, voted for William Ruto, who portrayed himself as a candidate of what he called the hustler nation. But if you look at today, we're the ones being hustled. But they're saying that, but now Mr. Wainaina feels betrayed and supports the protests since President William Ruto since President came to the office, and prices have continued to soar while his government have continued to raise the taxes. Mr. Ruto says the extra revenue is needed for escalating debt repayments. Are we accountable for all the debts you've taken? Stupid. Excuse me, the audacity. And he's saying that Mr. Ruto says the extra revenue, the audacity. It's the audacity for me. Anyway, Mr. Ruto says the extra revenue is needed for escalating debts, repayments, and to fund projects to create jobs. The money you've been stealing, creating this pot-bellied stomach, balloon-like stomachs, you've not included whatever you're taking. We're not part of that table. We're not part of that menu. Literally, you take all the taxes. You keep. Have you seen the electricity? I'm still actually on the issue of electricity right here in the 254. I thought I was the one who was tripping, but I'm not tripping. People are complaining, and I should be part of this demonstration too. I should be part of this demonstration too. But they go ahead and say Mr. Wainaina's daughter, high school student, recently stayed at home for 3 weeks because he was unable to pay school fees. Remember, school fees, everything has gone high. But regarding all this, we've also had schools. I don't want to read the whole article. Definitely what you can see is that people are affected very highly by the current government out there hiking up the prices of products. We were discussing on Monday on the Rhythm Scoop Show how we have the CS, the Minister of Trade, Importation and Exportation of Goods, claimed we should be importing bathing soap and cooking oil. Bathing soap and cooking oil. And it is so crazy. So I don't even get deeper into all this. We'll keep you updated because I believe I have a lot of things I want to talk about apart from all these distractions going on in Kenya. I don't see it as nothing else. We discussed this. We've been debating about this. And if you're too blind to just not realize what is going on, then it's going to take you miles and hundreds of years to wake up and understand politics. Because I think for the longest time, I was saying this on Monday, try look at the things that have changed. Question yourself, why is it that we have people right now questioning religion? Why is it that right now we have people questioning the politics? Why is it that right now people are so bold enough to take it to the streets? Things have changed. Pick up from the bare minimum you can and connect the dots of why things ain't the same the way we just used to be so reluctant and act like the government, politics is none of our business. On this situation, you can say this is a distraction because we have, if you speak of a 3-day demonstration, we're talking about people being the jobs being distracted. We're talking about businesses. We're talking about schools because we've had numbers of schools that have been closed, and that happened actually. The report came out that was yesterday at night. Schools have been closed because of the current situation due to demonstration, and of course, you remember. Excuse me. You remember last week we had a couple of students who are admitted in the hospital, fainting and all that. But I've seen the government has closed schools, and this is in Mombasa, Nairobi, and Kisumu. This is over the demonstration. They're saying that the government has announced the closure of all primary, secondary day schools within Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu cities. That is today, and in a statement given that was yesterday by the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, he said that the move is to ensure the safety of learners. And he says, I quote, as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of school children, it has been decided that all day primary schools and secondary schools within the cities of Nairobi, Mombasa will be closed tomorrow. And that is what is going on. Nothing but just a big major distraction. We're talking about and getting rid of the Eurocentric type of education, but we can't be able to do it if this is what is going on. Because from the word go, these despot leaders chose this road. And I want to share an amazing video right here. And Africans, I think it's a high time at some points and mention this. It is actually true. Crackers are waking up way before us. Crackers are picking up information very quickly, our African history, more than us. Literally, most of the truth you'll always figure out from these white people. You see them doing videos describing and talking about our history, our civilization, everything to do with us. But we have no clue. We have totally no clue. And at some point, because I remember it take me back like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, or 1.5 years ago, when I was trying to give people information of the ugali shots of the not, they were like, I took the gun to not just pick up your phone, especially being under the internet and investigation. I was bright enough personally. I congratulate myself with this. I picked information once I saw it from somewhere, because once we had the 19 I questioned, how is it that this is just happening? This is something I've never seen being burned. Then boom, information came to me, and I did deeper research on it about what is going on with people being locked down, the 5G installation, and all that. But until I think white people come to us and try to explain the truth to us, nobody, no, we can't literally be able to
Simi wa baba, 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 jeshi ya baba, baba, simi wa baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba.
talking about the African history missing. They have become the best teachers of our history. John Mosquito, karibu sana. I hope you're doing amazing. Kindly just give me a moment. Just 1 minute. All right, so let me share this video very quickly with you, because I think African people do need this. If it doesn't come from a cracker, African people, I bet we can't believe anything we're told by fellow African people, and I'm talking about the Afrocentric tradition, the Afrocentric type of education, which is what I'm saying that if it was introduced long time ago, we'd not be having this situation we're facing right now in the African continent. We'll not be having these situations. Would have declared revolution long time ago. But let me share this very, very quickly with you as I move on before time runs out on me. Okay. Okay, I bet you can see my screen. Let me try check from my end as we go. As we start. There it goes. So I bet this cracker right here, she's trying to explain what they did. Let me see. I don't know if my screen is you guys let me know if you can see my screen and if you can hear me. Let me know. Okay, so she's trying to explain, I think, the African history right here. I'm sharing the wrong one. Let me share the correct one. I'm sharing the wrong one. Let me share the correct one. So this cracker right here is explaining our history, what they did to us to keep us docile, indoctrinated, to know nothing but just history of white people. And I was speaking about this, I think it was yesterday on my show still, and we were speaking about how white people, like we saw Ivory Anita did that video, she said, where we had this cracker questioning if they didn't exist, what would we black people have done? And she responded back, and it was vice versa. And it's a vice versa. We know if we didn't exist, what would have they done? Because they live off us literally, even as we speak to date. They're stealing multiples of land. I'm so angry about Algeria right now. They're stealing multiples of land. We'll be talking about Libya, Tunisia, Iran, and a lot. Morocco, where our African people are being killed. Is that part of history taught? They stole the lands? No. But I think this to my youngins, to my fellow African people, to my fellow age mates, I hope you can get this right, direct, and clear in your head, and understand why you need an Afrocentric type of education. Because this type of behavior we're seeing right now in Africa, we'll not be having them. We'll not be moving stupidlessly. I don't know which term to use perfectly for you people who are moving with the crowd. I don't know which term to give you. If you can't become an independent thinker and say there's something wrong with this and pull up the rest of the crowd, then you're lost. Because this is what it's giving with the current demonstration of Kenya. It is so sad, again, because of all this, we cannot be able to even capture majority of the mindset to ask them, why are you outside here demonstrating? Because it's already a threat being outside there, because you don't know what is going to happen. We were speaking about revolution, and shout out to my quote that I gave that I loved, and I broke it down. We spoke of discipline, having more, having more thoughtful behaviors. And I'm speaking of thoughtful behaviors where when you go outside there, know what your agenda is. Are you going to loot someone's shop just because you're hungry? Or are you going to literally demonstrate because you are trying to have a shop too? Are you going to kill someone because you've been paid $30 or $300, which, again, coming back to Africa not being taught financial literacy, you're going to pay off all your debts, get back to your drug addiction, and you will have no money left. Where are you back at? Just exactly where they picked you and paid that money, back to poverty. So until maybe a cracker talks to you and lets you know of your history, then I don't know what African people need, because we've been trying.
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them.
I don't like TikTok, but apparently this I found on TikTok. And of course, Kit also saw the video you shared with me on TikTok. So yeah, don't worry.
From the love
I'm keeping up
within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself.
Exactly. Self-hate. That is what we've been taught. We keep on talking. That is what I spoke about on Friday, on Monday, Afrocentric education, because the Eurocentric education we've been given is hate yourself, bleach your skin color. One, they bleached our minds. I always call it bleached, and putting us in a coma. They kept us in a coma of where you'll never reason of anything good as yourself as an African person, but just nothing but hate. You hate your skin color. And it came to a certain point where they used, I always say in Hollywood, personally, they been having 4 African countries being jumps off. They started with Nigeria to portray and keep on projecting the self-hate agenda. We used to see in the Nollywood's movies, the Nigerian movies, how it is okay you being a light skin and how light skin is the trending mode. And it was set as a trend, actually, where if you are light skin, you'd get a job easily. It became a trend, I remember, when I was in high school. And I was like, wow, so it's going to be so hard for me as a melanin, as a dark skin, to get a job just because I'm not light, because I'm not nothing compared to a cracker. But it is all wrong. It is all wrong. Because even the light skin themselves have been literally gotten into. You find people are trying to literally exaggerate how lighter they are. Shout out to the Somalis, the Ethiopians. They keep on doing this. They literally overdo. But anyway, self-hate. Let's continue. Let me restart this again. I just loved the video personally, and I had to share it.
The Best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness.
Well, personally, I think with makeup, I kind of have a draw line. I don't know what she meant by that, but if she's trying to say that African people applying makeup is wrong, first we are the beginning of makeup. Okay, go back to history, look at it. We used to use clay and a lot of literally natural things to make color and apply in our skins. We didn't need this face mask, fake bullshit chemicals you put in to create a face mask. I could take some leaves, crush them and apply them on my face, and that could settle so good in my skin. The same way when it came to wounds. We didn't need all that. So excuse me. I think somehow I kind of disagree with the makeup part. I don't know.
Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Age 5 until an adult, and repeatedly test them on the information and assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and
Exactly. I remember the first question. This was the first test. Keith putting me on a test. Shout out to you, Mr. Black-Out Fire Network. I see you. Karibu sana. You're saying exactly 100%, Joby. John was saying that I've seen this video last week. Well, I can say with the same algorithm, then, or the universe connecting information towards us. That's what's up. But I remember my first, I think, 2 weeks on Black-Out Fire Network. I'd say the first 2 weeks before Spikes. I think it was before Spikes went to Tanzania and Kami, or after they came back. Then I remember, boom, we were seated. We had no lights with Kami and Spikes. Then Keith asked me, Joby, are your ancestors evil? And my brutal, loyal answer was, yes. And he asked me, wow, he laughed. You know how Keith laughs sarcastically? But he laughed. And he came at me and told me, why are they evil? Because we were told they used to kill goats, drink the blood, a lot of nonsense shenanigans we've been taught. But look at what this white woman is telling us. This is what they used to literally make us not understand what our ancestors did, part of creating them, part of teaching them how to clean their ass, part of literally teaching them how to read and write. But now, we are the most illiterate people, African people. It's funny. It's very funny.
Cast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and
Oh yeah, we came from a monkey. We keep on jumping on trees.
struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that they're kind.
These are, I don't understand. I always want to try to understand the creation behind the movie. Since these movies are giving links to everything, I want to understand the creation. Tarzan. Tarzan. I want to understand the creation behind the movie Tarzan. Jumping on trees and all that. You can talk to animals. Africans, we have that ability of communicating to animals. If you didn't know, I bet you know. We do have that ability of you communicating to animals, communicating to, I think we've had trees, communicating literally to nature. You have that ability. But apparently right now,
mind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other.
Media. I'd use that as media. Personally, I take that media so strongly because I believe media has been, shout out to the Kardashians. They have used the Kardashians. I think this is when we're talking about the BBL, the Brazilian butt lift. We did talk about how the media has been the number one, what should I say, promoter of destroying the black women. I'd say literally black women and some are also black men. They have used media to portray the white people's image being the best, and you admiring everything that comes from them, and you have to literally continue hating yourself, self-hate, projecting that towards you, and always making you feel not being amongst the white community. Man, it's not like, you need to be in that, you need to be associated with white people to be considered as a big deal. And that's how African people carry themselves even up to date. Walking with a cracker, people see themselves as queen, and I don't know, you can tell them shit ladies outside here. They'll be stepping down on you. Shout out to this Kenyan lady. I saw a video today on TikTok. It is so sad. If you can step down your fellow woman because of a Nigerian, what would you do now with a cracker? There's this lady who was explaining today. I was watching a video on TikTok. We have our women looking down upon other women because of these Nigerian men, who especially who are literally running away from their countries, coming here like in likes of Kenya, Tanzania, or other countries. They come settle in these posh places. There are 15 of them in the house. You don't know if they have to literally contribute money to pay up the rent, but you're stepping down on other people just because of someone who's trying to make a living like you, a fellow African like you. Now, what would you do if you got a cracker? Shout out to Nyashinsky. Sijui utakuwa nini ukibaiki Benz, unajua? Sijui.
Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied. Build a society around them.
Good morning, Jiba Jaba, Karibu Sana, and of course, good afternoon from our end. Hope you're doing amazing. You're saying good day to you, Joby. Good day to you. Keith is saying exactly 100%. And Joe was crazy saying that these damn crackers they ain't no big deal. They ain't. But apparently our people want to act like it's a big deal. And I'm not just attacking women, also men. We have, come on, passport bros. Is it passport bros? Maybe I'm confusing. Not the passport bros, but we have men, African men, who, man, they'd rather sink in that booty just to have a cracker. And mind you, these people are coming outside here so brutally telling us how they can take 4 days without taking a shower. Yeah.
Which those who have money benefit and those who don't fail. Make money their main focus, but make it so difficult to accumulate that they remain in a place of constant struggle, forced to dedicate the majority of their time to the system that made it this way. Tax them in every way possible, but tell them that it's for their own benefit so that they don't think twice about paying it. Take so much of their time and energy throughout the week, but give them 2 days to themselves.
Go back there. Let me go back here. About the minerals. About the minerals.
It's so difficult to accumulate that they remain in a place of constant struggle, forced to dedicate the majority of their time to the system that made it this way. Tax them in every way possible, but tell them that it's for their own benefit so that they don't.
Tax them in every possible way. Is that what she said? I guess so. Yeah. Tax them in every possible way so that they do not think. Oh my God. Oh my. So we can continuously keep on paying it. Talk about the loans, the debts, and then we shall be getting. I don't think I'll talk even about the situation in Rwanda. Time really runs out so quickly nowadays, and we're moving with time. I will be getting just to the main agenda after this. I want to talk about what is going on with Algeria signing a deal with China. I understand. Don't come after me. I was checking at the percentage of black people in Algeria. We have a 10% of black people in Algeria. Who are the majority? Our invaders, the Arabs. Shout out to them. Of course, we have the same situation in Tunisia, the same in Morocco and all that. So I want to talk about Algeria and China signing a deal. We'll talk about that. And DRC Congo signing a $1.9 billion US deal for the state mining project. State what?
Don't think twice about paying it. Take so much of their time and energy throughout the week, but give them 2 days to themselves so that they feel a sense of reward and don't fight back. Promote the consumption of poison in every social setting so that even on those 2 days, they remain disconnected from themselves and each other. Pump their food with excess sugars and addictive chemicals, but make it cheap, advertised, and easily accessible so that they never stop consuming. When their food makes them ill, prescribe them medication with excess sugars and addictive and each other. Pump their food with excess.
Didn't you talk about the GMO? Why, and I think it has been talking about this, why we have so many black women who are obese because of the chemicals they're putting in their food and the genetically modified foods which are making women to become the way they look.
pump their food with excess
Black American women, I love you all. Don't come for me.
sugars and addictive chemicals, but make it cheap, advertised, and easily accessible so that they never stop consuming. When their food makes them ill, prescribe them medication that only masks the symptoms so that they become dependent on it every day.
Maria spoke about this on her show. Shout out to Maria, all the way from Uganda. She spoke about the more traditional medicine and the crackers medicine. Let's continue.
Charge them so much money for healthcare so that they stay in a constant loop of consuming, medicating, and working.
Mm-hmm. You'll always continue being a slave. You're always medicating and working. You get sick, go back.
Cause chaos amongst them and blame it on a group of their own so that they form judgmental stereotypes.
Blame games. We keep on talking about blame games with our special, amazing puppets. Our leaders, shout out to them. It's always a blame game.
Turn them against each other in so many ways so that even if they were to connect on one, they would still be divided by another.
Exactly. I've spoken about African people being divided in many ways. And I think I said many ways a couple of times. African people were divided in so many ways. Many ways. So many ways. Little ways that we don't even think they're even. You assume it ain't shit, but it is shit to crackers. Them seeing, oh my God. Them seeing how divided we are, like the little fights we pick up and everything, that shit excites the shit out of them. It's like you're trying to make them calm, sorry to say. They're so excited seeing African people suffer. That is literally where their satisfaction is. They feel so much joy. Because once we're wiped out, once we're gone down, they take over. Mind you, that's the agenda. The depopulation agenda, which is being promoted and fueled by the LGBTQ community, human rights nonsense, and a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. A lot. But I did love this amazing video over there. In case you want to share it with you, kindly let me know. I'll do that on WhatsApp. That was really, really important to see, because it's like African people need the information from crackers to understand who they are. Because every time we try to talk, we've seen it even right here on the chat, there's always one damn African person coming to attack us via the live chat. We've seen this a couple of times. Shout out to that Ethiopian guy. Was it Ethiopian or Eritrean? Who always used to pop up on Katie's show? Eritrean. He used to pop up on Katie's show with all the defense mechanism. And I've seen another video of this Ethiopian claiming and I'm not surprised because I think it has told us this before. Ethiopian Somalis claiming now they're not black people. But if you take us back to the original statements of who are the first originators of these countries we have right now so divided, it was all Africans. But no, right now we're not blacks. We are Somalis, we're Ethiopians. But it's in Africa. It is in Africa. It's crazy. Joe Mosquito, you're saying that they just gave me a warning for the last comment. How they know what cracker mean. Wow. They gave you the last. Wow. Shout out to Facebook. Well, you can switch back on YouTube, but do watch out your comments. They come, yeah. You know YouTube. These people be coming after our platform, our network, especially on the comments. So be careful. I see Jiba Jaba is saying that Tutsis and Hutu, Lemba versus Luo. Exactly. The division. We didn't need all that. We're supposed to be Africans. We're supposed to be. I don't even go along with. There's something I had Keith saying yesterday, of which I know it makes sense, but I do not go along you saying Tunisia, Morocco, Libya don't belong to Africans. It is in Africa. Okay? They don't, the ones who are in the country don't belong here. But the countries, do they belong here? Yes. I even had Katie saying they should take Tunisia and go with the name. No, leave and go. We don't want you taking nothing. The way you came, empty-handed, no clothes, bending, don't know how to talk, bathe, go back to the cave. Period. You're not taking nothing. Nothing. Not even a dime. Nothing. And I'm not feeling remorseful for that. Nothing. Nothing. You're not taking a dime. Leave. That's it. That's it. No debate. And you're saying that they're always one moron. There's always one moron. Exactly. There's always one moron. That's true, Jibaja, but there's always one moron. And Robert Williams is saying that, yes, Joby, that's how white society judges its well-being on your downfall and poverty. Exactly. And they love to see it. And this is what I'm trying to tell Africa, especially right now with what is going on in Kenya. We're going to be everywhere. As much as actually you can tune in your television right now, I bet you're going to be shown what is going on in Kenya. The Tele-Live Vision. You're going to see. We're trending everywhere right now as a country because of rightfully demanding for our rights. But there's always those morons. I'm going to call this in a group morons. Those who are moving with the crowd because Raila said, but those who are moving individually because they know what they need. And then when they mix up together, it becomes a bunch of morons now because all of them are moving with an agenda they have no idea and no clue of. So it's kind of tricky. But as we get into our main agenda of the day, let me take me back to what she just said. We're going to be paying taxes continuously, and we're going to never be able to realize they're not even. We're paying taxes for nothing. While they'll continuously keep on looting and stealing our resources, and none of these crackers, sorry to say, John Mosquito, I can say it, you can't say it on the comment. You can't say it on the comment. None of these crackers, literally, is held accountable. A few weeks, that was last week, I did discuss on the US government coming out and calling out on the countries which have been exploiting the DRC Congo and literally abusing the children. What did they call it? Let me see that. I think I've written some few notes right here. I'm trying to get it. But we did have the US government last week, if you guys can remember on my discussion, we did have the US government coming out and calling out on the DRC Congo exploiters of resources to stop abusing children. And literally, adults, I'll include, because there's a video I shared, which we saw this Chinese journalist who was covering a story. I don't know if she's Chinese or Japanese, but she went to Congo, and we saw that literally a big, large Chinese farm owns one of these mining centers, which is illegal to the Congolese. It is illegal for Congolese to go mine, but it is okay for Congolese to be exploited, and Chinese can mine through this illegal mining center. That is the US government coming in defense mode of the DRC people and calling out on the rest of the world to stop exploiting children. We had that. Then this week, that was last week, on Friday, I think it was on Friday, I read this. We did have Libya signing into an exportation of oil to Europe. I can't remember which European country, but it was to Europe. We did have Libya signing a deal. And I questioned, I don't care who's in the country. I give a shit about what is in the country. I don't care who's in control of the country. I care about what is in there. Because mind you, it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to majority of us who are out here demonstrating right now, who have no lands, no homes, no nothing. Go back. We go to Nigeria on Monday. I discussed this. Nigeria did sign a deal also, and this was approved by the federal government, that they shall be exporting oil for the next 24 years. Apparently, I did delete those articles, but I do have the whole information in my head still. And I didn't have time I didn't want to do the whole research and everything, just wanted to connect the dots. But Nigeria did sign the deal, agreed by the federal government, approved by the federal government, and other members like the EU, the AU, the UN, to export oil for the next 24 years. And of course, you remember, if you are tuned in, if you can catch up with the rest of few of the shows, I've had that debate. That was on Monday. Then we had Ghana also on Monday, also signing a deal into exportation of goods, which was funded, and also back to Nigeria, funded. Come back to DRC Congo, we also had DRC Congo and Angola who are supposed to rehabilitate a railway funded, okay, come back now again to Algeria and China. So this is what is going on. I'm concerned about what is in the country, not who's in the country. So get my debate very correctly. I don't give a shit about who's in the country because I can get rid of them. I'm African. This is my continent. So what's up? So they're saying Chinese President Xi Jinping hailed China's relationship. I told you guys, most of these names always in Swahili, they sound so pathetic if we translate them. Anyway, but anyway, Chinese President Xi Jinping hailed China's relationship with Algeria in a meeting in the capital of Benin on Tuesday, that was yesterday, with his Algeria counterpart. I won't read his name. The meeting takes place a month before BRICS summit, which we know is agenda. The BRICS, why it was created. Shout out to Keith for teaching us this. Why it was created. We know what China is. We know why China is being used and all that. But the meeting it takes place a month before the BRICS summit in South Africa, and China has supported Algeria's accession to the BRICS mechanism. For 65 years, it quotes, or rather, I say this is what he said. For 65 years, China and Algeria has always shared well and war and helped each other. And the friendship between the two countries has been strengthened over time. And this visit of Benin follows a trip that was made last month to Russia. That was a long-term partner and military provider, although Algeria has remained officially neutral in Moscow and Ukraine. But that is not the whole issue. I have an issue with what is in the country. That is, you guys, pay very keen attention to why I brought up this. Now, I share this very quickly, the current situation of Black people because I went to Google and asked Google, what is the percentage of African people in Algeria? And Google told me we have about 10%. 10% of Black people are the ones who are literally in Algeria. 10%. While this is a country owned, this an African owned country, or it was once, because I've seen another video which there's this lady was explaining deeper, but I can't share the video. It is very long. She said Algeria was Black originally, Black, full of Black people before all these people we're seeing right now. Before all these people we're seeing right now. And this way it should explain to you why we have Ethiopians even so messed up in the mind and not understanding where they come from. But I also went ahead and checked, what is Algeria rich in? Algeria is rich in gas and oil. And this is actually a statement classified by the World Bank. And I can't question, who is the World Bank to tell us about the amount of wealth we have? Like the same way they came, the federal government, the EU, the UN, the AU, who are giving us 94 years span of Nigeria's exportation of oil. It's not 94 years. You crackers know it's a lifetime thing. This why you've been stealing oil in Nigeria for the last 12 years and nobody knows. You have been making billions of money in a day. Leave alone even in a week. Count not even in a year. Count not even in the next 12 years. In the 12 years, what you've been stealing. In a day, we calculated you've been making billions of money from Nigeria. You've been stealing. But nobody is held accountable. Shout out to the previous president of Nigeria. Buhari, literally, since 2015 to 2023, his round of applause speech was, I've left Nigeria in the best situation it has never been since 2015. If I'm to take us to 2015 and right now, I bet in 2015 Nigeria was better than right now. None of these despots come into power and leave the country in a normal way or the way they even found it. They don't make a change. They don't change. They make the situations worse. Do they have balls? Like we had someone saying that our presidents have balls. They don't. But going back to Algeria, that is what is going on in Algeria and China. I'm concerned about the minerals personally. But this, I want us to understand actually, and I've been saying this for the longest time or lately, as I wind up, And I've come to literally understand with the mainstream media gets to give us the connection and the dots very quickly. It starts with one African country, the rest follows. It began with Libya. We had Nigeria, we had Ghana, we had Angola, DRC Congo. We have now DRC Congo back at it again, Algeria. Next, we're going to be here in Kenya, and another one, and another one. They're all signing off deals of mineral resources. So far, we're counting 7 African countries, which have now signed multi-billion dollars of deal in exportation of resources. Are we benefiting as African people? Is there creation of employment in all this? Why do we have people? If so, if you claim of us having a free fair trade, because we see African countries are given the free fair trade, is that free fair trade helping to create job opportunities? If so, why do we have people in the streets right now? If so, why do we have the cost of living so high? Because we're trying to create a free fair. And why are we creating a free fair trade for our own goddamn shit? Why am I giving you my shit and I have to be free? I have to be fair with you for my shit. What am I gaining? What am I gaining? I should be getting the bigger portion, literally being the producer, not you being the consumer. I should be the biggest beneficiary of my shit. And Katie did speak about this yesterday on our main topic of the day. Why African countries can literally not be able to benefit from their production. You need to stop being stupid. You need to stop participating. And I'm not gonna cap today. You need to stop participating. I'm not gonna be remorseful with you today. African people, stop participating. We're not gonna keep on living like shit. And it is so sad to see that we always have to struggle. Our lives have been made of a struggling bullshit. While crackers have to always wake up, being born, generation to generation, they have wealth. We are the beginners, and we are the beginning of wealth. But we are literally the most struggling people in the world, all over the globe. Black people, we are on the bottom. While we taught someone how to clean their hearts, their ass, their body juice. Shout out to Big Cheese. I've missed Big Cheese, manze. I hope you're doing amazing, bro. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are. I've missed you so much. Come back on the chats. I hope I didn't scare you like Tsepo. Karibu-san. I've missed you, man. I hope wherever you are, you're doing amazing. And shout out to you. We love you, appreciate you. And thank you so much for being part of the Black Old Fire Network. And in the likes of a lot of people we've not seen, the brother from Gambia, I can't remember his name. And a lot of people, Sister Janet, Sister Michelle, Sister Angela. I've not seen most of the Black Old Fire members. As much as I know majority of you are always watching in silence. Try sometimes communicate. Just say hi. You don't have to communicate on the rest of the conversation. Your presence is important here. That is what is recognized the most. But as I wind up, now go back to not Nigeria, but DRC Congo. And what is happening? I've seen that the UE and the DRC Congo have signed a $1.9 billion US deal with a state-owned mining company. Hello? The same people who are coming telling us about the exploitation of resources, stop using children, came to make a deal. And who are the workers? I want to understand that. I'd be sitting down laughing with these people. I'd literally, if I am to ever go in any of this meeting and listen to these speeches these people make before they sign the deals and anything, I'll be cracking. Especially where Museveni is, I think I'll be dying of laughter. I'll be happy every day around Museveni. And shout out to our president as well. He's coming up with all the jokes. We have flying lions. Our trees are rotting. I'd be having employees full of laughter. That is literally our president, our despots. But yes, the same people are warning us about Africa being exploited. The children just came to sign a deal. But my number one question is, what is your procedure in mining our resources? Do you have any procedure? Are there any machines that are going to do this job? And how is Congo as a country? I don't even care about the rest of the countries, okay? The Congo, the country itself where you're getting the resources, are they benefiting? Oh, you don't have an answer for that, I bet. You don't, okay? I bet you don't have an answer for that. But that is my number one question. Is the country benefiting? If so, who are working? Do you have machines that are going to do this job? If so, are you going to ensure no displacement of people? Everyone is going to be safe in their homes. That is what you're saying. And Congolese are not going to be living in poverty. You mean you're going to have a equal cooperation? But I have to get the biggest share. You understand? So what's up? But it's not going to happen. And I bet if I am to read this article, we know it's always the same bullshit, the same lies. The same that the United Arab Emirates have signed 1.9 billion US dollars deal with the state-owned mining company in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Congolese president gave this information on Monday. And the president Felix Tshisekedi announced on Monday evening that the government declaration or the delegations from the UAE had concluded the deal in Kinshasa and with associate, I don't know the name, man, and the partnership, I can't read the Chinese French bullshit. The partnership will see the development of at least 4 industrial mines in the troubled eastern regions of the South Kivu and Maniema, and Sakima owns mining concessions in the region of Tin. These lies, none of Congo owns nothing. Sorry, Congo owns nothing. And if I don't want to go back to all that. I can't even share this video with Algeria and everything, because we know the situation of Black people in all these countries. Start with South Africa, come to Kenya, go to Nigeria. It's all copy and paste. Like I said, take the receipts and you see nothing but just the same. So Africa. My question was, for the main topic of the day, what is going on with African countries and ourselves as well? What is going on is we've been taken advantage of, and they have for the longest time. Like I said, crackers, it's so sad. We see them. They're the ones giving us information of our history more than we can literally be able to dig into. That's what they take advantage of, because they see we have also to be educated by them and not us, since they understand our history way better. That aside, what is wrong with us? We're participating too much. Stop participating. That's the time I'm going to use, I think, till I'm done with journalism. Till I'm done waking up African people. Stop participating. Stop participating. That is just how simple. Since we don't have weapons, we can't fight back. We don't have power. For us to be able to even get the weapons, we need to have this power. This, not this power. This. I was saying earlier today, we're having a discussion of boxing. And personally, I've been taught one thing with fighting by my dad. Shout out to him. Fighting is not all about energy. It's your mind. You might be fighting thinking you're all energetic, but your mindset, you can be knocked the shit out of you very quickly. And that is Europeans. Our mindsets here are very weak, but the mindset of the crackers, very sharp. No capping. We always say and always give them the credit how wickedly intelligent they are. But what about us? We become the most illiterate, like they claim in the recent articles I've been reading, when it comes to our educational system. So what do? We're taking part in waking up people as the media of the 21st century right here, the Black of Fire Network. But for you, do take part as a sinking information. Stop participating. Today they said, wake up, go demonstrate. Sit down in your house and let's see what they're going to do if they're going to demonstrate. Because it's always their agenda and not ours. They call you out. And mind you, these people have no power, not only in their country, but they have nothing. They have nothing. I think we've seen what Europeans do. They use you, destroy you. They have no power. They use you, destroy you. Mindset. Because these crackers, again, they get into power bearing and beating their chest. I'm the president of this. But your mindset, you're weak. You bear nothing but just the name. Your mindset can barely reason. You're being reasoned on behalf of your fellow African people. And this is why you have no independency, no power. So stop participating. That's so simple. And if you are participating, you have to go in and fully. And you're not participating for them, you're participating for you and for your people. There's always one law of the universe that I have loved and I keep on reminding and teaching myself every single day. Everything that is happening to me, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Okay? So that's one thing you should know. Do what you're doing, trying to make a change for you, not for other people, but for you. It has to start with you, an independent thinker. And that's my final words. But much love, family. Let me go through the comments before I wind up. I see Jiba Jaba is saying, Kenyan lives matter. You'll see that next. Did you just have to? Did you just have to? Did you just have to? I said that yesterday. I don't want to go back on that debate, man. I have no time. But I said that yesterday. And that's why I was trying to bring up the debate of Black Lives Matter and why Black people, especially right here in the continent. Because trust you me, when we had the Black Lives Matter movement being declared, when it was founded, that was in 2013, after the George Floyd incident, boom. And a lot of incidents that did happen and all that, I saw a lot of people reposting this, but if I'm to try take my picture back and ask a couple of people I saw reposting this, I'd love to hear their mindset. What do you think? What is this motion for? They don't know. It's all about homosexuality. They have no goddamn clue. Black Lives Matter is all about homosexuality. Jiba Jaba is saying, I read watch out. It's saying that I read they have the largest stake in cobalt and lithium mines in Congo. It's robbery. Exactly. Remember, the cobalt are the ones being used to have these flying electrical cars we have right now, lithium and a lot. All the resources they're using to put this technology they're doing, the drones, it's all coming from Africa. But they don't say this. Oh, a Chinese person has founded this. Did the mineral come from China? Because they've always given Chinese. I've said this and I've grown up knowing Chinese being the best production of everything. If you look at your cap, it's made in China. My eyeliner, it's made in China. Probably next is gonna be my hair, which is so African. They're gonna be claiming Chinese found another Afro new hair. Leave alone the wigs. These people are capable of anything right now. We're seeing artificial babies. God knows what's next. What's next? And this is why I need to study about the reptilians, kid. I need to study about checking the reptilians. I can't wait to learn about that, because with the AI babies, excuse me, I don't know what's being created. Robert is saying that the real reason for this disrespect is no one is willing to die. That is true. That is so true. And that's what I'm saying. If you're moving, you better move. If you're participating, participate all in, knowing what you're going for. Anyone is willing to die, you're willing to die for your country. You're willing to do that, sacrifice that. Unless if you're not willing to do any of that, stop. Stick your ass at home and eat some ugali and the leftovers you have. And wait till the nation is come. Go make a hustle and deal with the dictatorship. Because that's what's up. And I see, yeah, Xingping, what's here? Joe Mosquito, you heard me. Jiba Jaba is saying the U.S. military is the largest consumer of fossil fuels, so they are responsible for so-called climate change, smoke, and mirrors. I don't even talk about the climate change right now. I've seen something very fishy going on with this. I'll talk about that later on the Africa Today show. It's this, in Africa, it's getting crazy with this climate change fuel. It's crazy. It's crazy. Keith is saying that I told you, Joby, that all the Northern Africa was black. I know. But I'm talking about the current situation. Is it African? Do we have black people there? No. So we need it back. We do need it back. That's just how simple it is. We don't need people making deals and they never own this country. They barely understand nothing to do with nature. And you can tell us about how you want to deal with nature. Get the fuck out of here. Jiba Jiba is saying that, yep, go to the poorest part of the Algeria. They are the dark like us, not the pale ones on TV. I agree with you, because I don't have time, but I'll share that maybe tomorrow if we're going to have another conversation related to this. I was watching another video which we have a woman giving the history of Algeria, how they were invaded, and how it was fully of nothing but just black people. The originality of Algeria is nothing but black. So Arabs, you can go kick ass. Exactly, saying exactly 100%, Joby, saying that no African countries won't benefit. I think that's what you meant. And you're saying Jiba Jabba the Yap, I miss Sister Janet. Keith, you have contact of these people. Kindly sometimes, if you can, this is me to you. If you can, sometimes do check on our audience. Try, I know you're so busy, but if you can reach out to 1 to 3 people, try so because they are our audience, and we are concerned if you don't see them. The bigger the number, the bigger the conversation, Manze. The bigger the network, the bigger the passing of the information. And Big Cheese is saying that Big Cheese is in Kenya, Joby. That is John Mosquito. Big Cheese is in Kenya. I don't know, man. He should have contacted me. You remember we've spoken about this. He told me when he gets here, I'm gonna help him look for some ladies. So yeah, he better not be here, and he is not walking around with me. You'd be doing so bad when the Black Hot Fan Network family is here. You're gonna be robbed, Big Cheese. This is Nairobi, okay? This is Africa. Keith is saying that the UAE that don't want Africans in their countries, but want to have African wealth. They can kick rocks. I'm just that honest. Kick rocks. Okay? Go kicking rocks. Count each and every one of them. That is a game we used to play when we were young. Kicking rocks, You just go playing with rocks on the road. Go do that, because that's what you know best. We don't need you. I see also Kitty saying exactly 100%, Joby, your mindset. Yeah. Because sometimes, I don't know. It's just your mindset. It's your mindset. That's all I'll say. I don't even describe much deeper on that. Mindset is everything. Jibba is saying that we must think 10 steps ahead to win. Exactly. We are way behind, but we must think ahead. Especially for Africa, it's debate on Africa. For those you guys having found yourself there, being in the community of Black Americans, despite still originally coming from Africa, I believe you have much information than us. It's not the same way. They have, like you've heard, they have kept Africa like this on purpose. Robert Williams is saying that they always break the tools. Exactly. They have not even proper ways of mining. It's destroying the lands and everything. They don't even have proper ways of doing this. It's crazy. Keith is saying exactly 100%, Joby, they use and then get rid of you. That is what they do. And you're also saying that, yes, brother Keith, check on us now. You're funny, but much love, family. Thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode. I hope you guys do have a beautiful morning, day on your end, whatever the time is on your end. It is exactly 2 p.m. right here on the 254. Katie shall be back with the African Diary in the next maybe 20 minutes. So kindly do tune in and check out what updates he also has for you. And do give your sentiments regarding everything. Thank you, Robert Williams, for being interactive today. Thank you, John Mosquito. I know you always tune in, but you're not always that interactive, Robert. But thank you so much for tuning in. John Mosquito, Kate, and to our silent listeners, I appreciate you. Much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day on your end. And that's on period, and pass the information to your people. That is what's up. So much love, family. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day. I don't know what happened to my music, but I hope we can catch up on the two